Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever you're joining us from. I have seen that we have our two guests in the house, and today we are talking NCLEX. We are talking pre-NCLEX process. We are talking all the assistance that you can get, how you can, come over to the United States, start to finish. We're going to break down everything. And trust me, we have capable hands here. You don't know the value of what we have here today. We have very capable hands who have done this for many years. These uncountable years. They've been in this process for a very long time, and they've been helping a lot of people from different countries. No racial discrimination. They are helping people across borders. And I really appreciate them for the good job that they are doing. And today they're going to tell us more about themselves. They're going to tell us more about the things that they are doing for nurses. So I want you all to sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening. It's going to be worth it. And today, the people that are bringing this to you is no other than your favorite vendor of good news. Okay, so this is another good news that we're bringing to you, and I expect that you're going to enjoy it to the fullest. Okay, before we get started today, I always do one exercise, and I just plead with everyone who is on this call today to just try and just do this exercise for us, because it helps us to understand the people that we are talking to. So it's gonna be, I said one, but it's gonna be actually two. So first of all, we're going to do an exercise to know the background of people we are talking to today. So I want to know your country. I want to know where you're viewing this from. If you're from Nigeria, from Kenya, from Ghana, just go to the comment section and let us know where you're viewing this from. I want to know so that we can have specific information on all the advice and how we're going to be answering you today. Because if we don't know your background, if we don't know that we have people from Kenya, maybe we're not going to say something, pertaining to people in Kenya. I just want to know the places that we're covering, and so that we can be guided on how we give advice to different people from different backgrounds. Okay, so just use the comment section and tell us where you are viewing this presentation from. All right, and then after this one, we're gonna have just one more before I let them, go. I know they are all fired up and they want to get into it, and I know it's gonna be wonderful. But before we get there, we're gonna do one more exercise. So I need more. I need more. I have almost 100 people on this call. I'm expecting more people to join as we proceed, but I still want everybody to go to the comment section. Let us know where you're viewing this from, so that we can know what kind of advice to give you. Like, for instance, in Nigeria, there are specific things that you can do in Nigeria that you cannot do in other countries, and the same thing applies to Kenya and to other Zimbabwe and Zambia and so many other countries. So we just want to know where our people are viewing or watching us from. So go to the comment section and let us know where you are, your location, where you're viewing this from, and then we'll do the second exercise. Okay. And then we can start. Awesome. All right. So thank you very much for doing that. All right. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you guys being on this call. All right. So as you're doing that, the second exercise I want you to do today, I know it's late in some countries, but I know a lot of people wanted to be in this program. So this is just going to be on you. I want you to let someone around you know that this program is going on. You can send out the link, you can send out the invitation, just send it out and let the person know, oh, come on board, come and join us. We can, share ideas together, and then we can, get ourselves in a better discussion and get yourself into will I say, into a pathway that will lead you to a brighter future tomorrow. So I just want everybody to do me this very favor, let people around you know that this program has started and they could benefit from it, and share the link, share the invitation, and then we are going right into it without wasting much of our time. Okay, guys, thank you for doing that. That was amazing. Thanks a lot. I see a lot of people on this call. I welcome you all. I cannot mention everybody's name, but you all are my special guest of honor. Everybody that is on this call is my special guest of honor, and I really appreciate you. I don't want to bore you with so much speech. Today is not a day for excellent speech. Today is a day for information. So I'm not going to go all and out, telling you about, things that are not relevant. So today we're just going to talk about things that are relevant to pre-NCLEX process, okay? How you can get involved, how you can get yourself in the right pathway, and then we're going to be giving you opportunity to ask your question at the end of this program. So if you have any question, you can write it down, write the questions down, and then at the end of the program, we're going to be giving you opportunity to ask your question. Right now, we're just going to be we have actually introduced our guests today. So we're just going to be, I don't know in what order we're going to go today, but I would let Madison decide. So Madison, I'm going to ask you to unmute one more time, and then you let us know how we're going to do this. All right? Okay. And Jen also, I'm also letting you unmute. You are
Perfect.
all.
Great. So I think kind of our thought, Decency, is I can introduce myself, Jen can introduce herself, and then Jen's going to kick off. We have a little presentation, PowerPoint, which we'll share and kind of walk people through, and then answer some questions at the end. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, just to let you
Great.
know that the little exercise, I don't know if you looked at the comment section, we have people from different places. We have Nigeria, we have people from the U. Okay, yeah, that is you in the US. We know you're in the US, Madison. Okay. All right. We have a lot of people. We have people from Kenya, we have people from Ghana, we have people from Nigeria.
So South Africa,
Yeah,
UK.
UK. All right. So we have people from all over. So when we're giving our advice, you can just know the area that people here are coming from. All right. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
So let's go. Let's go for it. Yeah, Madison, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Decency. My name is Madison Moore, and I'm the Director of Employee Services for InterStaff. And I've been with InterStaff almost 5 years now. And when we talk about employee services, kind of what that means is kind of an easier way to put it is our nurse experience. Our team is responsible for kind of the nurse journey from their relocation to the US. And we focus, you'll hear more about this, we focus a lot on that transition point when you're actually leaving your home country and coming to the US. It is just such a pivotal moment in your life and your journey. And we provide a lot of care, attention, education around that moment in time. And then through kind of the tenure of the nurse as an InterStaff nurse, which we'll talk more about that 3-year period and what that looks like. But my team really oversees kind of that relocation process. And then while you're working here in the US as an InterStaff nurse. So that's me, and I'll let Jen introduce herself.
Yes, my name is Jen Smith, and I am the Director of Programs here at InterStaff. Our programs team handles all of our recruiting and all of our different visa types. So traditionally, we have worked with the EB3 visa. We also work with other visa types. We're focused on EB3 today, but if you have questions on other visa types, we're happy to answer them. I know we also have another upcoming webinar with Decency about our F1 program. So happy to jump into that today, or come back and join us next week. But yes, I love seeing the countries that everyone is from. One of the biggest joys of my job is getting to look at new markets and figure out ways to really grow in specific countries. So I love seeing where all of you are from. And if you haven't already shared, we would love to know. So I will get us started on our presentation. Decency, can you give me access to share?
Sure. Give me 1 second.
Or do you want me to send you the presentation so you can share?
No, you can share. I think it makes it
Okay.
easier. Let me give you access.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I think you can share now.
Okay, great. Let's see if this works. Oh.
Brian, you're welcome. Brian from Zambia. I just saw Brian's message right now. You're welcome, okay?
Okay, let's see if this will work. I apologize, it is not, that's showing my whole screen, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you just need to
The
maximize.
slideshow.
Yep.
There we go. Does that look better?
Perfect.
Okay, great. So today, like I mentioned before, Hattie was hoping to be with us, but she is out sick, so I am jumping in for her. I wish that you all got to meet her because she's wonderful. So next time. But today we're just going to go quickly through InterStaff, who we are as a company, what is the EB3 visa program, what our program requires you to have before you apply with us, what the application process is like with InterStaff, and then all the things that we offer for our nurses. We mostly want to allow you a lot of time to ask questions because I know you probably have a lot. So I'll just jump right in about us. To start, InterStaff has been around since 1998, serving nurses, and we really want to. Our tagline is leading with care, and we are really, really passionate about that, and it guides everything we do. We believe that our nurses lead with care, and our team leads with care. Excuse me,
All right.
and I apologize. And so one of the reasons we bring nurses to the US is because there is a nursing shortage in the US. And we also know that there are a ton of amazing nurses around the world who have a dream to come to the US. So it's really a two-part goal that we are able to fulfill needs on all sides. And we know just how incredible the nurses are that we have brought over. And so we are excited about the potential of working with all of you. This is a picture here of some of our US staff who help to bring the nurses to the US and support them once they're here. And then you'll see a picture of Rachel, Comfort, and Alexandra. And these are some of our teammates from Kenya, Ghana, and the Philippines, and they are all incredible. And if you have ever emailed or submitted an application, you have probably talked to one of them. So I just wanted to highlight them because those are the faces of the people that you are likely talking to.
Mm.
Our EB3 program is a green card sponsorship program, and it is a worldwide program. You can be from any country in the world and apply with us. And I'm assuming you all know a little bit about the EB3 visa program. If you don't already, and this is all new to you, EB3 is an employment-based visa. So InterStaff would be your employer and be the ones to sponsor your green card. So we do have some requirements for our program. We do require you to be a nurse. That is first and foremost. We accept both a nursing diploma and a bachelor's degree. We do require you to be working full-time when you apply with us. We request that you be working in a 100-bed acute care inpatient hospital. This just makes sure that you have the skills and are working in a place that can translate to a US hospital where you're being placed. We don't want to take someone who will ultimately fail in a hospital in the US. We don't think that that serves you well, and we don't want to put you in a horrible position like that. So we want to make sure that you have the skills. We will also continue to work on your skills and help translate anything that you don't already know further down the line, but we do want you to start out with solid nursing skills. And in that, we also require 1 year of bedside experience in an approved hospital setting. And then to speak English. And we know that people are at different English levels. We do have an English program that we can put nurses through if they need that help. My guess is if you're on this call, you may not need that, but we do have that if it's necessary. And then when you apply with us, we do request a copy of your valid nursing license and your CV so that we can fully assess all of these qualifications that we've said. Excuse me. And then if you have already taken NCLEX or IELTS or some other English exam, we request those from you on the front end. Our application process is pretty simple. We have a very initial application on our website, and we can put the link in the chat here when I finish. And it is, Decency, do you have that link?
Yes, I do. I'm trying to get
Okay,
it. Yeah, I'll put it.
awesome. Thank you. So that link is a very basic, are you a nurse? Are you working in a hospital? Just very quick, easy to fill out, and that gets you in our system. So even if you're not ready to do the full application now, you can do that piece pretty easily and come back later. If you meet the very basic qualifications, then we will send you a longer form, and that's where we'll have you upload your CV and your resume and your NCLEX results and anything else. It just gives us a lot more details about you and your experience so that we can really assess your qualifications. I don't think from the countries I've seen, no one would be required to do a language screening, but there are a handful of countries that we do a quick language screening just to make sure the English is in a place that we are able to support. But from the places I've seen, that would not be a requirement for anyone on this call. And then from that pre-qualification form, if we decide that you are qualified, we move you on to our interview. We have clinical nurses on our staff who you get to interview with, and they are all wonderful, and they assess your skills, but they also will tell you a little bit more about our program and give you a chance to ask one-on-one questions with someone. Based on that clinical interview, we then offer an employment agreement and we would send you an email with that agreement and then send you a lot of different information while you review that. We send you information on frequently asked questions and some testimonials of some of our nurses to really help you understand who we are as an agency. And then once you sign that agreement, we say, welcome to InterStaff, and we get you started on your process. I wanted to highlight, and Madison, I may ask you to step in here a little bit too. But some of the experiences of what makes InterStaff special. From the day that you sign your contract, you are designated a processing officer, and that is the person that walks you through the entire process. We'll talk, I know Decency mentioned this, I don't think we have this in the presentation anywhere, but depending on whether you come in with NCLEX or IELTS or not, kind of sets up your process. If you are, the very, very first step, if you have not done NCLEX, is you will do a CES report, and that is your credentialing and evaluation service. We do that through CGFNS because it is most widely accepted by state boards and by most, helps you get your license in the long run. So we do that in the beginning, and then we give you an NCLEX review. We have someone on staff who is in charge of clinical education, and she is a nurse herself from Costa Rica, and she is incredible. And she does make sure that our nurses pass the NCLEX. We sponsor your exam. We are very excited to announce we just hired someone on staff who is booking all of the travel for our nurses for their NCLEX. So in the past, we have reimbursed nurses for that, and it is something we are changing, and we will now pay for that upfront and help schedule all of your NCLEX travel. We cover 85% of fees for nurses. We do have some additional sponsorship for some certain situations, so you can always check with us on that. But we cover almost all of your fees. We can't cover some things like when you're trying to request your transcripts. Those are kind of the things that you have to cover, but any major cost InterStaff covers. So really, we are with you all the way through the process while you are unfortunately waiting through retrogression, helping you pass the NCLEX, helping you pass the IELTS exam, and just helping you understand what documents you need for your license and your compliance, and walking you through the hospital placement process. So we are just an agency of support. We want to lead you well through this entire process. And then once it comes time, you actually have your visa. It's such an exciting day. And then you get to relocate to the US. And Madison, I'll let you jump in here because this is where your team really steps in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So kind of like what Jim's saying, if you've not taken the NCLEX when you sign up with us, we will absolutely, got a great system, great support review program to get you set up for that. If you have passed the NCLEX when you sign up and apply for us, we actually, it's on here below, we have a bonus structure that you'll get paid out through a bonus structure if you come to us as an NCLEX passer over time, which is great. But I'll talk a little bit about like our relocation experience, because I think this is something that we really started and championed in international nursing and have continued to refine and improve over time. But it's something that we really pride ourselves on, and being able to kind of walk hand in hand with our nurses at that key moment of relocation to the U.S. So we have somebody on our team who, whenever you get to the point where your visa is approved and you're starting to talk and look at relocation to the U.S., we have someone on our team. You'll be assigned a relocation lead, and they will walk with you through securing housing, booking your flights, kind of all the logistics of moving you and or your family to the U.S. And then they will actually fly and meet you in your new city and spend 4 or 5 days with you on the ground, taking you to get a bank account open, taking you to get a cell phone, taking you to make sure you can get your occupational health requirements done so you can get cleared for work. Kind of walking you through a lot of just administrative and task-driven relocation components as you're in that first week in the U.S. And this is something that is just an incredible experience for nurses to have that person in the flesh with you on the ground to kind of walk you through that process. So that's again, such a key moment in time for so many of our nurses who have never moved or lived outside their home country, to have someone that's kind of walking them through that transition point.
Yeah. And I would say, if you have not checked out our Facebook page, there have been a few, one of our marketing people went on a relocation last week, and she posted on Facebook, I think from Walmart, or while they were out shopping with our nurses. And so you can kind of get a glimpse into that experience if you want to go check that out. Another.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
Do you want me to go, Jen? I'll go for it. I think one of the things that, when we think about InterStaff and what sets us apart as an agency and organization is we are so focused on creating kind of a holistic and well-rounded professional and personal experience as an InterStaff nurse in your tenure. And so we're very thoughtful and intentional about kind of the support, whether through benefits or resources or programs that we provide to help our nurses, help them succeed, help them achieve their dreams, like Jen was talking about, but also realize success kind of as an InterStaff nurse, and then beyond being an InterStaff nurse. Like, we really want InterStaff nurses who come over to have a great 3-year experience with us, but then to feel kind of equipped and empowered as their permanent residents to succeed beyond being an InterStaff nurse. So I'll talk about some of these highlights professionally. Like, we have a workers' comp coverage for folks if they get injured at work and have to miss any time. Professional liability coverage. So a lot of nursing agencies, you have to get that on your own. With InterStaff, we take care of that. We have the professional liability coverage for all of our nurses. We've got tons of training and development courses online, clinical development and training. We have started to partner with Grand Canyon University with a university partnership that gives a discount on tuition and gives dedicated counseling help with kind of course, like which courses to take, scheduling, all that kind of stuff, for nurses and family members. So this has been really fun to watch a lot of our nurses come over and get their BSN through Grand Canyon University and do a year or two of studies and then graduate. And it's just like a fun celebration moment. But then a lot of their family members have pursued different levels of degrees through Grand Canyon. And it's an online remote university. So you're able to do it in your hometown and not have to be in Phoenix, Arizona, where the campus is located. Personally, we've got health insurance. So all of our nurses have medical, dental, and vision health insurance. We have life insurance policy that we have a base coverage of life insurance, but then there's an option for all nurses to elect kind of more coverage if they want. We have a ton of mental health resources, kind of counseling resources and counseling programs to connect folks to. And then the CARES Fund is something like I think I've been really proud of that we've developed over the last couple of years, where it's InterStaff, we basically set aside a certain chunk of money every year to help nurses in what we call emergency situations. So that would be kind of a short-term emergency situation. I think one of the things we found is that some of the hardest things in life cost the most money. And that seems so unfair. You think about like a surgery or, a natural disaster that impacts your home. Like, there's just so many things that when these emergency moments happen, they just cost a ton of money. And so we've created the CARES Fund to come alongside and help and support our nurses when those kind of things happen. So we've been able to help pay for emergency surgeries. We've helped pay for memorials of a spouse or a child, unfortunately, in situations. We've been able to help in response to natural disaster situations in certain locations. So this has been something we've been super proud of, that we've been able to rally around nurses in kind of really intense situations to support them. The interstaff community, Jim, one of my favorite things about interstaff is our community of nurses and their families, because we pull from all over the world, like Jen said, and we've got nurses across the US. And so we have this wider kind of interstaff ecosystem that is very diverse in terms of their backgrounds, their countries, their specialties, the kind of hospitals they work in. And then in each town or facility where we've got nurses, there's that diversity continues. So in one of our towns in Texas, we'll have nurses from 6 different countries at the same hospital who are interstaff nurses. And so we've created these programs that I'll just kind of go high level through, with kind of the purpose of how do we take those communities, both in a specific town and kind of more nationally across our nursing population, and encourage and invite them to invest in each other. Because obviously, Jen and I have been working interstaff, but we've not immigrated as a nurse to the US. And so there's a certain value and wisdom that you all would receive from a nurse that has done this before you, like a Decency, versus that you receive from Jen and I. And so we want to create those spaces, create those connections, create those relationships. So we have an ambassador program where nurses going to a specific city will have an ambassador they can contact to learn more about the city. We've also so we've got 2 levels of ambassadors. We got city ambassadors and country ambassadors. Our country ambassador program would be like for nurses from Kenya who are coming to the US. We have country connection calls where you can get on a call with a working nurse, one of our working nurses in the US, and ask them questions like, hey, as a Kenyan coming to the US, here's what I'm thinking about. Here's what I'm worried about. Here's questions I have. And you have someone who's actually gone through the process that's there to help answer those questions and just be a voice of support in your journey. We have a peer program that's focusing on creating preceptors, because obviously, again, you can work with a nurse, a US nurse, but an interstaff nurse as a preceptor understands a little more personally your transition from nursing overseas to the US. And so we're trying to create those preceptors and those connection points to help with that clinical transition. We have an awards program that we launched 2 years ago that has been incredible, where we get to honor and celebrate our nurses with an interstaff awards program, but also we have so many great nurses earning awards from their hospitals or facilities, where we invite nurses to tell us about that and celebrate them for their success. Mentorship program, which has been really successful this year, an alumni program, and then the First Nurse program is kind of unique, because I'd say one of our strengths is that we have so many nurses coming to hospitals where we already have interstaff nurses they get to connect with. Occasionally, there's a time where a nurse has to be a pioneer or the first nurse to a new facility. And so we have this special program that brings extra support to that nurse if they're the first one at a new facility, to help them get acclimated and learn about the area and just feel supported until more interstaff nurses can come and join them at that facility. So and I think one of the things I'm super proud of with our community programs is all these programs have been created out of feedback from our nurses. So as we listen and ask questions and get feedback about their journey and their experience and what's been hard or what's been good or what was helpful, these programs have been created out of that feedback. And so we're always taking feedback from our nurses and listening and thinking about, like, okay, how does that feedback impact our ability to serve them and set our nurses up for success? These are holiday party pictures, because this is another, I think one of the things that we try to be really intentional about and we think a lot about is just how do we get in person with our nurses? And I think as a remote company where we've got nurses around the country, and Jen and I are in different cities, and we've got our core staff that support our nurses are all over the country, we have great support remotely, but we also just want to be able to be with our nurses and get to be with them in person and listen to their experience and kind of see their world and meet their families. And there's just something about, all you know this, just like sharing a meal and having a conversation. There's just something different about kind of the connection point when you're able to do that kind of thing. So in December, we try to go to as many hospitals as we can and locations where we have nurses and just have dinner with them, have a holiday party, sit down, kind of get to hear about their experience. And so here's 2 examples of doing that. And I think throughout the year, we also, with our relocations and other events, try to create space to be present, physically present with our nurses, to kind of see the environments they're working in and learn more about their experience.
Yeah, thanks, Madison, for jumping in there. We would
Yeah.
love to take your questions. I think the one thing I want to echo, I started off with it, it's just our wanting to lead with care, and that we want to find nurses who lead with care in that same way. And so one of the ways we do that Madison mentioned is really seeking feedback from our nurses. And we love hearing feedback from our working nurses, but I think it's also really valuable for us to hear feedback from all of you and from you know, people who maybe are interstaff nurses, but they're still working in their home country, or people who have not chosen an agency yet. And so would love your questions, but would also love to hear any thoughts or feedback you have, because we're always trying to make our program better. That's one thing that we are very committed to, is when you sign an agreement with us, what you get is way better than what you actually see written on paper, because we are so committed to growing and serving our nurses the best way that we can.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Madison. I really appreciate you guys a lot. You don't know how much I appreciate you guys, honestly. And then the effort that Jen put in being here today. I mean, she has COVID, guys, and she was still able to make it. That's sacrifice, that right there. And if I had if I had my way, I would say it won't go unrewarded. But you know, I can't reward you. I know. Yeah, I know I can't reward
This
you.
is reward enough, getting to be here
Yeah,
with all of you.
but honestly,
Yeah.
you are so amazing. Thank you so much for your presence being with us today. We are so excited. And I want to apologize to the general public. I don't know what happened to our Zoom. Okay, so we cannot, for some reason, go past 100. So we used to have a permission license to have over 500 participants, but today something happened. I can't just get people over 100. A lot of people are on the waiting room. I promise that I will find a way to get this recording across to you guys. I promise, okay? And I'm very sorry for not, checking on this before we started the meeting. I would have, done my little checks and see if everything is still the same way I left it the last time. Okay, but, we will try as much as possible to make it work. Next week, we'll still have interstaff. On Friday next week, we'll be coming in with interstaff on another different program, a different visa route for nurses. So by that next week, we'll be able to accommodate everybody that will show up. Okay, so thank you so much. We have some people who raised hands. We have a lot of questions popping in on the comment section. And I think we'll start with one person that just raised hand. I'm going to give you permission to ask your question. Madison, thank you so much for your help, for coming in here today. I know you're a very busy person, but you're still able to make it to today's meeting. I want to say
Never too busy for you, Decency.
thank you. Thanks a lot. So Mary, if you have a question, you can unmute and ask your question before we go right into the question on the comment section. Okay, Mary. Mary, while you're getting ready, okay, you're ready now.
Good evening. Thanks for the talk. Really appreciate. Please, my question is that I'm a nurse with 10 years experience, but I've not written NCLEX exam. So about to write, maybe next month. So can I apply for the program?
Absolutely. Yes, we would love to take you. We will
Okay.
take nurses whether you've taken NCLEX or not. If you've taken NCLEX, if you've gone through Decency's Academy, then we offer you a special bonus. We offer $8,000 in bonus in different parts of your contract. And your process will just be faster because you've already passed the NCLEX. If you have not passed NCLEX yet, then we will sponsor your NCLEX. We will help you with your visa. If you have to travel to another country, we'll pay for your travel. We'll put you through our NCLEX program. So either way, we can help you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, Mary, and then all the best on your exam. I wish you all the
Thank
best. I
you.
know you're well prepped. Okay, so just go in
Yes.
and get us that success. Okay. All right.
Okay, so thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And I have Newton, CJ Newton. If you have a question, I'm going to ask you to unmute. We'll just take all the people that raised their hand before we dive into the comment section. All right, Newton. You can ask your question, okay?
Yeah, Buzzy, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Madison, Jen Smith, I really appreciate your lecture this evening. My question is concerning the family support. Is it that your agency will sponsor the spouse and the children, paying their flight fee and all the rest? That's what I want to know.
Sorry, are you asking if we pay for their flights and their visas?
Yeah.
Sponsor.
Yeah, will your agency pay for the flight tickets of the spouse and the immediate family members? Or when they arrive there, then you take over? Because you talked about the employment of the spouse and children education. Is it the only area you cover, or you will still pay for their flight fee? Thank you.
Sure. Madison, do you want to
Yeah.
cover the flights?
Yeah, so I'll talk about flights. So we have, in terms of flights to the U.S. and relocation, part of our offer to the nurse is we cover the nurse's flight. So any of you all nurses, if you gonna join our program, when you actually relocate and move to the U.S., we will be paying for your flight, the nurse's flight. We don't pay for the families or cover the cost, but we do have what we call an advance program. And so what that is we will provide an advance to cover the cost of flights for dependents. So spouse, kids, as they come over, because obviously that can be very expensive to bring a family of 3, 4, 5 over to the US. And then once the nurse starts working, usually about 4 months after they start working, we do a slow payroll deduction to pay back for the advance of the dependent flights. And we're pretty intentionally waiting kind of 3, 4, 5 months after the first day of work because we want to give the nurse a little bit of time to have some income to develop kind of like a good foundation financially before we start making sure that those advances are paid back for the family flights. The other thing I'd say, kind of in addition to this, to family support, is we're working really hard to find some partner organizations to help with spouse employment. Because I think that's one of the things that we found to be really hard and challenging for families coming to the US is so many of you all have spouses who have great jobs and careers in your home country. And then you come to the US and it feels like it's really hard to kind of either reestablish or get back engaged in your career. And so we're working with some different partnerships to try to help spouses get connected to opportunities. But we also have a lot of kind of tips and tricks, so to speak, that we share with the nurses so their spouses can really prepare for that job search process and to be employed. And then the last thing I'll add is if you have kids, we absolutely will, like part of the relocation will be making sure your kids get registered with school, going by the school so they can see where the school is, and wanting to try to help your kids get in the school system, get back in the class as soon as possible once they arrive in the US.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Madison. Go ahead, Jen.
Decency, I was going to say, I see a bunch of questions about the NMCN verification.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you could address quickly?
Yes, I'm going to. Is that on the comment section though? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a few questions
Okay.
about it.
Yeah, I would address it. I would address it along the line on this
Great.
meeting. So we're gonna still
Okay.
come to the comment section and read all the questions there. Okay. And then for now, we just want to see Newton, did you get your question answered correctly the way you wanted? Are you okay with the answer, the responses? You can unmute and speak. Hello, Newton. Yeah. Okay, while Newton is getting ready to give us a response, whether he's okay, we have Justina. Okay, Newton, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I got the response.
Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
the link to apply to Interstaff is on the comment section. You can go there, click on it, copy it, save on your phone, and then apply to them after this program so that you can get all the information we're here to pass. Okay, Justina, I've asked you to unmute yourself and ask your question. Justina, are you there? while Justina is getting ready, just to save time, I am just going to go ahead and call Oluwaseun. Oluwaseun, you can unmute yourself and ask your question as well. Yeah, Oluwaseun, is it possible you could get like
Are
a
you hearing
better
me?
reception?
Hello? Hello?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that for the pastors, people pass, because I joined very late, I couldn't come in. I was just lucky in between. That's the program, this thing has gone like 30 minutes before I could join. That for the pastors is with Interstaff, is this retrogression still, how long will the retrogression going to last? Well, that's my question. Then, since you said the link there, I will just go and apply and
Okay.
start from there, like you told me earlier. So,
Mm-hmm.
but the retrogression is my own question. How long is it going to last?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had an answer for you on that. Just making sure your question is how long will retrogression last?
Yeah, for NCLEX passers. She's
For
actually
NCLEX.
my student. She passed NCLEX already.
Oh, congratulations.
Mm.
So I would say we have no idea. We wish we had a crystal ball and could predict what the US government is going to do. Our best guess, and talking to some lawyers, is that for the next several months until we get to the beginning of the US fiscal year, we're not going to see the visa bulletin move again. So we expect in October, we'll see it move again. We're kind of expecting it to be the way that it did this year, where it moves a few months at a time, probably through next May or June, and then it may stop again, and then we'll see a jump forward. Again, we don't know, but that's our best guess, is that retrogression, it's based on the US government fiscal year, which starts in October. Madison, anything to add to that, or Decency?
Yeah. Yeah, you said it all. I mean, nobody can predict what's gonna happen with the visa bulletin. It's all there. People can actually, guess. They can just guess based on trend. Like I've seen some immigration attorneys that say it happened like this in 1988, then it means it's gonna happen like this in 2004. All those things are suggestions. You go to YouTube, you find a lot of things, but none of them is set on stone. None of them is like, for sure that we're going to have it. So all of them are predictions, and we can't even predict ourselves, because some people hold you, even though you say this is prediction, disclaimer, this is prediction, and people are still going to hold you accountable for your predictions. So we cannot say what's going to happen, but the only advice I do give people like Oluwaseun is get in the line. Get yourself into the place where you can get an I-140, get a priority date. So no matter what, this visa bulletin is not like something, it's not something out of the world or out of this world. So it keeps on moving. So which means sometime one day it's going to get to you. So, but you have to first of all get in the line, get a priority date. By this time next year, it might be this time, it might have moved to this year. You understand? But if you have not gotten your priority date, then you won't be able to approach the embassy for a visa. So the only thing I can do, or I can say or advise, is get in the line, get your I-140 approved, and then wait until whenever it becomes current. You have a lot of things to do already. It's not to worry about the retrogression. Just worry about getting your I-140 approved, getting all the requirements for your family, your passports, there's a lot. This process involves a lot of, tons. Okay, so just get in the line, get all the documents, get yourself ready. But before you know it, we are there and you're current. All you need to do is to be current. You don't need the visa bulletin to be current. You just need yourself to be current. You need your priority date to be current. That's the goal right now. You don't need the visa bulletin to get current, because for the visa bulletin to get current means that if you apply today, you get I-140 today, you can approach the embassy today. But we're not expecting that to happen anytime soon. So the goal of the whole thing is get in the line, get your I-140, and then just wait for the time that you're going to be current yourself. Okay? I don't know if I answered your question. Yeah. Go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I just completely agree with what you said. Get yourself in line, and it's not a wasted time while you're waiting, because we can provide you clinical training and we can provide you with different things while you are waiting for that I-140 to be approved. You're honing your skills in your current hospital. And so you're just really preparing yourself, and will be that in that much better of a place by the time you make it to the US.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have something to add, Madison?
Well, I'm just gonna say, yes, you guys are both that on. I'd say my guess is, for most of you thinking about immigrating, coming to the U.S., you have long-term vision for kind of what your dreams and goals and the success of that is, and I'd say just continue to be patient and diligent each step of the way, and that long-term vision will remain steady and achievable. And that's, I think so often we get nurses frustrated. They want it to happen quicker, but there's such a gift in being able to still hold on to that vision and that dream and in the patients.
Okay, I think we have to be a little bit faster because we have 53 new messages on my comment section. So, and then I have some people. So we're going to stop at Akpan. Akpan, you're going to be my last question. You're going to ask the last question, but we'll get to Justina right this minute. So Justina, if you're ready for your question, you can. We have Olola Day. Yeah, Justina is ready. Justina, go ahead.
Decency, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you doing?
Okay, good about Decency and everyone in the house.
Good evening.
Please, my question is that for someone who has started the process already, who have been doing self-sponsorship, who has done everything, but gets stuck with verification. I have been verified before, and it got expired, and I won't be, and I have not been able to get verification again. Can I apply? And then if I apply to Interstaff, is there anything they can do to help out? Because I've already prepared for the NCLEX and ready to write, but because my board said that the verification I did with them has expired, that I have to get new verification done. Is there anything they can do to help me out?
Just to confirm, are you from Nigeria?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
So let me jump in a little bit on that verification, because I know we have a lot of questions on verification. We have been involved. I, for myself, have been so much involved into a lot of mediations that is going on with, making sure that the verification comes back, okay? We've gotten a lot of pushbacks, but one of the only hope that we have now is that there's going to be a change in the leadership of the NMCN by July, okay? So the registrar who is there now, who is championing the suspension of the verification, his tenure is ending in July. So we'll have a new person who is going to take up that office by July. And we've been speaking to some of the candidates, some of the people that have been selected to become the new registrar. All of them are not in support of verification being suspended. I can say this for a fact. And they are all saying that one of the things that they are going to handle immediately they get into office is to make sure that this verification issue is resolved, and resolved very quick. So our expectation is that once that transition takes place within the NMCN, we are going to get a lot of positive outcomes on the area of verification. Okay, that is one of the area we are going around it. And I know that you also know that there's been a lot of court cases, about 4 court cases that are ongoing currently, against the NMCN for the unjust suspension of the verification. That has been heard about 2 times, and we're expecting that it will move in our favor as well. Okay, you also saw the news recently about the NMA, that's Nigerian Medical Association, where someone within the members of the association won a court case against the body, that was taking his rights from him on how to use his license and the rest of them. So that is the same kind of judgment we're expecting from the area of nurses. So we've been exploring and researching on other quite like similar court cases that have happened in the past and how it was judged. And for a fact, we can say we are believing that if it goes in the way of court, and if it is judged rightly, we're just going to get justice. But Even if it does not, we're going to get the transition, we're going to get a change of leadership by July. So when we get that change of leadership, we expect something to move in the positive direction. All right. So that's all I can say about that. As for whether you can join now, I know a lot of people that are with me are self-sponsored nurses and they are all ready for NCLEX. The only thing that is holding them right now is the fact that they have not, fulfilled the requirements of their boards of nursing, which is one of them is just to get them their verification sent into the board. So I believe you're ready. So what I would advise you to do is just to keep on studying. By next month, we should get clearer vision on which path to go. All right. Okay, Justina is muted. I don't know. Justina, is your question answered?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes.
Yes, my question is answered, but I want to ask, can I go ahead and apply to Interstaff?
Yes, you definitely can. We are trying to figure out what to do right now. For example, with Zimbabwe, they have not been able to verify licenses for over a year. So we have been putting every nurse from Zimbabwe on hold until we can figure out if that's going to be lifted. Unfortunately, we don't have insight like we have with Decency in Zimbabwe. And so we are not putting licenses, or we're not putting applications on hold from Nigeria right now because we are hopeful that they will move in July. So we're going to continue to let nurses through the process. If they are approved, if they're qualified for our program, then we'll let them move on to the interview portion. So we're still letting nurses move through as we watch what happens. If we are able to offer you a contract, we just would have to put it on hold until we know what happens with the licensing piece. So yes, you can definitely still apply. We will move you through the process and then we'll just continue to evaluate as we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jen. Thanks a lot. And I believe that your question has now been completely answered. All right. Thank you, Justina, for speaking up on that. Ololade, you can ask your question now.
All right, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, sir. But Decency, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep.
Everybody in the house, I want to say hello to everyone.
Hello.
Please, I want to ask a question. This is for a friend. I'm already a passer, but there's one of my friend that is interested in writing the NCLEX exam. So I want to ask, maybe the Instastaff can help in sponsoring the person. She has not started the process at all. Can such a person apply?
Yes.
She's also from Nigeria.
Yes, they can apply.
So she has not started the process.
Yes, that's totally fine. We take people who have not started the process at all.
All right. Okay, I believe your question is answered, Olayinka. And we go to the next person, Anyanwu Felicia. Felicia, you can ask your question now. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay, good evening, Boss D and the other our guests. Please, I'm about to take NCLEX and I started with Wasteways, but for some time now, we've not been hearing from them. I want to ask if I can switch over to this agency, and are they ready to take up the sponsorship from where I've stopped?
Yes, we can take nurses who have started the process with another agency. The one thing that we will request before we would work with you is a release letter from them. We respect our competitors and we want them to do the same. And so we would just ask that you have that release letter before we work with you.
I didn't quite understand the answer.
Typically when you are leaving an agency, they will give you a release letter to say, we are no longer working with you, you are released. And so I would just ask them if you can have a release letter saying that they are releasing you from your contract. There may be some terms that they require of you. I don't know what that would be with them. But I would talk to them about that And you can always email us at recruiting. I'll put the link in the chat, but it's recruiting@interstaffinc.com, and our team can answer any specific questions you have about that.
It's okay, thank you. But please, I also want you to talk on this issue. You understand better.
Yeah. So what she's trying to say is that if you want to switch agencies, you have to get a release letter from the agency you're switching from. That's, typically what she's saying. All right.
I understand that. I understand what she said, but the extent we have gone with
So
West.
what's your stage with this agency you mentioned, the Westways?
Me and some other people we got to verification stage, and since for some time now, for many months, we've not been hearing from them and all that.
Okay.
And
Yeah, so I think maybe some information that I might be sharing might be private. So if you want to send me a message after this and we will talk about it individually. You can also gather your group and we can look at this individually and see what's going to be the best way forward for you. Okay?
It's okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And then we have Ukeme Apan. You can unmute yourself now and ask your question.
Good evening, Interstate Organization.
It's interstaff, not interstate.
Interstaff Organization. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm new. I'm new.
We're finding it difficult to hear you, Apan. Is there a way you can speak up a little bit?
Is it better now?
Well, not really, but I heard your question back. You can go ahead. Let me see if I can. Let me test my ears.
I saw I just got this invite in a platform, so I decided to join the meeting. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you decided to join the meeting. What's your question, ma'am?
That I'm a BS.
Okay. I don't know. Jen, are you hearing anything? It looks like you're hearing something. Okay, Apan, can you I will ask you to please kindly put your question on the comment section, and I will respond to it. We will make sure we respond to it before we go. We're already 1 hour in the program, and I want us to end in the next 30 minutes. So if that is okay with our guests. So we said we're going to end with Apan. Olori, Taiwo, and Florence Udo, please, if you can wait here, we're just going to go straight to the comment section and read all the questions that we have there. We'll come back to you, okay? All right, so let's see what we have here, okay? Smiling at praise or smiling face praise. I'm so sorry about the 100 participant cap. It was not anticipated. I was actually hoping that we're going to reach to 500 because of all the groups that we have that we sent out this invite in, but it didn't work out the way I planned it. I'm so sorry about that, okay? And then we have Lizzie. Lizzie says, sorry, I was unable to join in time. Please, what can you do for me as an international nurse who have not done NCLEX? What you can do is go right in and use the link that I sent to apply. Once you apply, you will get a response and somebody will be talking to you about how, way forward, next steps, everything will happen sequentially according to your country, the specific, geographical location where you are, and how we can help you, assist you based on what is happening in your own country. All right. And then we have Ifoma Nwankwo is asking, is the Nigerian NMCM verification waived for this program? Well, we wish it was waived for some certain programs, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I know that in the next month, we are already in June. So in July, we're expecting that something will happen in the right direction for us. All right. And then Jen has already answered Mary. Mary says she had 10 years experience. She's looking to apply. Mary, you're welcome to apply. All right. And then we have UC Jazz Production. UC Jazz Production is asking, said, thank you, Decency and Interstaff for the amazing opportunity. Nigerian nurses are facing challenges with NMCM verification. Can they still apply? Application is open to all. So Nigerian nurses, yes, you can apply. As for the verification, we are hoping that something positive will happen in the nearest future. All right. Nosmuri said, any age limit to apply with Interstaff at Madison? Is there any age limits?
No, we do not have an age limit. We look at the whole nurse and all of your skills and all of your experience. And so, no, there is not an age limit to apply.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. As far as you have strength to work, you're welcome to apply. We don't want those that don't have strength to work. All right, so Fortune Onoha is asking, I am a nursing graduate who studied in the Philippines. Due to diplomatic gap, most foreign graduates aren't permitted to take the board exams. We result in working as volunteers at hospitals here to get the necessary bedside experience since we can't formally get employed due to the inability to secure a license here. I have written NCLEX and passed. My question is, would the bedside volunteer work at the hospital that meets your requirements qualify me to apply?
Unfortunately, no, we are not able to accept volunteer requirements because typically the volunteers are not performing the same skills as a licensed nurse. And so we worry that that skill set would not translate well. And so, help you succeed in a US hospital. So unfortunately, no. I wish that we could, because I hate this situation and that you are not able to get a full-time job just based on the diplomatic gaps. But unfortunately, we would not be able to accept you with only volunteer experience.
Okay, that's a hard one. I've not thought about it. I know I have some people from Dominica, not the Republic, but the Dominica country or island. So I have people there that are still experiencing the same thing that this gentleman is experiencing here. All I can say is just keep on exploring. You can. I don't know where your country. I don't know where you're from. But one of the things that I've seen people do is they go back to their country and write their board. So you can go back to your country and write the board of your country, or you go to any of the West African country if you're African, and then apply for the board in that country. That way you will get a license to practice in that country. With that, you can start functioning or practicing as a registered nurse. That's just the only thing that comes to mind. Okay. But we can talk more about more opportunity that you can, well, I'm really sorry about the situation in Philippines. All right, so next question is from Newton. Newton is asking, do you pay flight fee for immediate family member? I think we took care of this question on the phone already. So Newton, I hope was answered. So Jude said thank you to Madison. Okay, then we have Jen has answered this question as well. But I just want to read it out for those that are not able to see the comment section. So can someone without NCLEX apply to your organization just as those with NCLEX? So Jen said, yes, you can apply. We help you pass the NCLEX and we can also sponsor your test. So see, one of the reasons why we say we are vendor of good news is that we bring opportunity to those who are seeking it. So now there is a lot of people who cannot, because of exchange rates, you cannot pay your NCLEX fees. I do more of self-sponsored. You guys know me, that I've been helping out with people who want to sponsor themselves and write the NCLEX. But right now, the economy is too tight. A lot of people are not able to afford the flight fees and afford. I've seen people who have gotten up to the level of authorization to test, and there is no money anywhere for them to buy their flight fares. So this is a great opportunity. Instead of losing out on your vision, key into this program, take the link, apply, give it to someone that you know that might benefit from it. and let them apply. And once they do, this company, Interstaff, very nice company, beautiful company, but it's not a lady. You know, they say beautiful for ladies, right? Yeah, but it's a very beautiful company. They would take up the process. They would do everything from start to finish for you, or they would just continue from where you are and then, you know, see you to the end. I also see you when you come over to the United States. Okay. So Jen said yes, that they can apply to that question, and we'll just go ahead and see other questions. So Justina is asking, for someone who started self-sponsorship, can the person still apply to Interstaff? And Jen has answered. Jen, it seems like you answered all the questions. Let me see the
I
ones.
tried. I think I missed some, but I was trying to answer.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing that. That will save us a lot, a reasonable amount of time. All right, and then Violet is asking, I have registered with Texas Board of Nursing and Joseph Cini. My verification with NMCN is still active. I need NCLEX sponsorship. Please, how do I apply? I'm going to post the link again. Just watch out. I've posted it before. I'll post it again. If you come to my WhatsApp messenger, I'm going to post it to you. You know, I'm going to have it all over everywhere, paste it everywhere today, or in all our platforms. So if you want to apply, go ahead, use that link, apply, and get just the sponsorship that you need, and go and write the NCLEX. All right. So go and write the NCLEX. Make sure that if you're with my academy, make sure that we okay you to go, because we don't want you to go through all this stress and not pass your NCLEX. Make sure you are with a one-on-one NCLEX instructor who has said you're okay to go and test, and that's what I recommend. I always recommend a one-on-one NCLEX coaching, because it has proven over time to be the best form of teaching for people who are going for the NCLEX. Okay. So how can we start the NCLEX program as soon as possible? The NCLEX program, the pre-NCLEX sponsorship program, it has to use the link. Techno is asking. For that, you have to use the link to apply. But if you're talking about starting on your own, like self-sponsorship, you can reach out to me anytime. Also, if you're talking about a group where you can study or review for the NCLEX, you can also reach out to me, and I'll send you a link on how to apply. All right. I'll send the link, the number to chat up on WhatsApp so that you can apply to that. Okay. So now, Mori is asking, now that NMCN has closed its verification portal and it's been 8 months now, will it affect one's application? It will not affect your application, but moving forward, it might affect you moving forward in this June. But come July, when the portal will be open, you know, tentatively, we're just hoping that it will be opened in July. When it opens up, your process will be continued again, and then you would go through the process flawlessly. All right. So Udaya Gloria is asking, is the program only for nurses who are currently working in clinical setting, or also nurse educators in the nursing education institution can join the program? So, you know, I want you, Jen or Madison, to answer this question.
Yeah, our program is typically, this EB3 program is for people working in a clinical setting. I would encourage you to still apply with us, because there might be another program that could be a fit for you that is more on the nurse educator side, but we would need to address your clinical experience and still look at your entire case to see what would fit you best. But specifically the EB3 is for clinical setting.
Right. It's employment-based visas for people who want to work, you know, not for people who want to teach. All right, but they have other visa options. All right. So someone by name iPhone is asking, say, thank you for this opportunity. I have completed my CGFNS verification, about to register for NCLEX, but coming from Nigeria, how long will one on the queue, because of agencies always complain of difficulties in moving nurses from Nigeria? So I believe what you're asking about is a whole different question. So for those people that have gotten that are current with their I-140s, sometimes the embassies don't have IDs for them. They don't have interview dates. Okay, so that's the question. That's where the question is coming from. And some of these things are not things that can be controlled by the agency. I've seen some agencies trying to expedite some of the processes at the consular level, trying to expedite it, but I've not seen it work. They only get a pushback from the consulate, and they will tell them that, oh, this cannot be done. There's a lot of people in the queue. We take them as they came, So the only thing I keep on saying is get involved, get on the line, it will get to you. You understand? It will get to you. The only thing is that it might take time. Of course, it will take time. Every good thing does not come easy. So just get involved, and one day you will be spending your summer in the US. All right. Okay, so next question is from Obioma Odemena. Odemena, I think your question has been answered by Jen. Say, can someone with IELTS and already at the verge of writing NCLEX apply? And the answer is yes, you can apply, Obioma. And then Anya Felicia is, can someone in another agency switch over to Interstaff? And then the question answer was given to that. It says, yes, we would just require you to have a release letter, just like the answer was given on the chat. All right. So also we have let's see, Nurse Mori. Mori says, yeah, okay, that's about NMCN. Let's see, Agnes. Agnes says, please, can you drop your official email, as some of us have a lot of questions to ask. Okay, the email has been given. You can contact that email and ask your questions. And Mori is also asking, okay, all right, that's another question. That question has also been answered by Jen. Jen, you did a great job. How much you guys pay RN? That's a question from Lizzie. Lizzie is asking, how much was the pay rate for your registered nurses?
So our pay rate is really based on cost of living. Our goal is to place nurses in low cost of living cities so that they have a higher take home. If you're interested, we have a blog about cost of living in different cities in the US on our blog. It just kind of breaks down, this is your pay, and if you're living in this city versus this city, this is how much you take home. And so all of our placements are in places that are lower cost of living. So our pay rate starts at $30 and goes up from there. I think the numbers are almost all of our nurses make over 65,000 US dollars a year. And Madison, I think it's like 3/5 of those make over 75,000. We have some nurses that are making over 125,000 a year. It's really just how much overtime you want to work. But our pay rate starts at $30, goes up from there. And I've heard that the average salary for a nurse coming to the US is 65,000. And that's what almost all of our nurses make as a base. And then their overtime that they work allows them to have a little more control over how much they actually earn.
Okay, thank you so much, Jen. And I have another question from Constance. Constance is asking, please, for a nurse with about 12 years experience who relocated to UK via the career route and has worked for a year now, but got stuck with registration with NMC due to pending verification process in Nigeria, can they also apply?
Yes, you can apply. As Decency said, things change with the verification next month, but you can go ahead and apply, and we will work you through the process while we wait to hear what happens.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much. So Agnes Akinwole is asking, sorry, can you please drop the email again? I would drop the email before the program ends. All right, and then we have Sule Salama. Sule Salama is asking, thank you for the presentation. I am a registered nurse from Nigeria. We are currently facing temporal years. I know we would be we'll just, like, like I said, wait till next month. Let's see what happens with the leadership in NMCN. All right. So we've posted that link again. Jen posted it as well. You can use the link and apply. So what's the required band score for IELTS, and how can someone who is yet to write NCLEX apply for the program? So the band score is 6.5. Jen answered the question as well. It says 6.5 overall, 6.5 overall, and 7 in speaking. And then you can go ahead and use the link that Jen posted and apply. Maureen Inusa is asking, I'm a registered nurse, nurse midwife with over 5 years of experience. I've started verification with CGFNS. I am still on the process. Nigeria is still having issues with verification of license. Am I free to apply? Yes, you are free to apply. The following question is for decency. I said, is it possible for someone to proceed with NCLEX processes? Proceed with NCLEX processes and the exam. It's possible. It's very possible for you to proceed with NCLEX processes and the exam. All right. So, you know, don't stop yourself if something is not stopping you. Okay. So if you haven't even started your CGFNS or even done anything, you know, just keep going, start until when they say, okay, it's time for you to do verification. Maybe by that time, it will be time for verification to cut out to open up. Okay. So let's just keep going, all right, until you get that stop sign. All right. So smiling praise is say, can someone choose the states to travel to in the US?
No, you do not choose. We take a lot of things into consideration at the time of your hospital placement. And so it depends really on what hospital openings, because hospitals have different needs at different times. And so we cannot, you know, if you say I have family in this place, we cannot guarantee that because we just don't know what will be available when the time comes. And so we look at the holistic picture of hospital needs, things that you may not even understand about the US. You may want to be close to someone in Louisiana and say, I want to be in Mississippi because it's the next state over, but actually Texas might be closer. So there's a lot of things that we understand because we live here that you may not understand. And so we try to look at the whole picture as we make those decisions.
And I think that our goal is to put nurses into environments where they can have success. And I think sometimes, like Jen said, there's things apart with the hospital, with the location that we understand and know that will lead to success that maybe aren't obvious or even understood by our nurses all the time. But part of that partnership with InterStaff is like trusting us in that process, is trusting that we have your best interest in mind and we want to put you in a place to succeed, and that we're pursuing different clients and partner clients and hospitals that will lead to that success. You know, by the time you all sign up and come over here, we may have completely new clients in different places that will be awesome opportunities. But we just ask that you guys follow our lead in that and kind of trust our discernment as we help set you up for success.
All right. Thank you so much, Madison and Jen. And let's see that last question. So the next question is from Lizzie. It says, Lizzie, you've been on and on today. It says, which state in US are you located? And then after sponsoring, will you deduct from your wages or from our wages? Maybe that's what she wants to say. And Jen answered the question. Jen said, we do not deduct any wages. We have hospitals in many states and hospital openings are always changing. So it is hard to say what the openings will be once someone arrives in the US. Okay, so I believe you got that answer correct. And then can someone choose a state to travel? We've also addressed that. You cannot choose a state because it's going to delay the process. So all you have to do is get into the state, do your due diligence, do your job, and finish your contract, and then go and live your dream wherever you want to be in the US. I am an international nurse, an immigrant nurse. I came in here in 2019 and I did my due diligence. I finished my contract and I'm still in the city where my agency posted me because I love it. I love it in Chesapeake. A lot of people have been saying, come to Texas. I said, nope, I love it here. No, most times people actually, you know, look at opportunities in the US based on family that you have in the US, but it's not. If you look beyond family, you will find opportunities that your family members have not even seen in 16, 20 years they've been in the US. Okay, so a lot of people are just eager to run away from where they were posted, not looking around to see what kind of opportunities do I have here. Trust me, there's a lot that you can get from the US. It's a land filled with many opportunities. If you look very well, keenly, you will find it. If you don't look, if you're just, you know, interested in going to family, yeah, you can go to family and have family as your opportunity that you will get in the US, but it's more than that. I tell you what, it's been rewarding in the city of Chesapeake. When I was posted to Chesapeake, I have never heard the name Chesapeake all my life. All my life, it gave me anxiety. I was like, where in the world is that? Is that even the United States? I thought they were posting me to Canada. You know, when they say Chesapeake, I thought I was being posted to Canada. And I was like, oh no, these people want to kill me. Why Chesapeake of all the places? You know. And then, you know, thank God for the support I got from my wife. My wife was like, okay, we have families. We have families in Texas. We have families in Maine. We have families all over. And then I was posted here. My family, my wife said, you know what, let's just take it as what God wanted for us, and let's just go there. And we came here, and it is exactly what God wanted for us as a family. Because my house is 25 minutes away from the beach. I can always drive to Virginia Beach and spend some time there and come back to my house. There's a lot of things to do here. It's a growing community, so there's a lot of investment opportunities. We're going to come again on this program, and I will show you a lot of investment opportunities that you can be looking out for when you come to the US. It's not just family members. It's not just all about, let me go to where I have a relation. No, disabuse your mind of that. Just focus on going there and looking for opportunities so that even you'll be the one to teach your family members how to dig out some opportunities in the US. Don't focus on the fact that they've been here forever. That doesn't mean that they know everything that happens in the US. Okay, sorry I'm taking time, but I had an uncle who has been in the US for 16 good years before I came in. This uncle has not bought his own house. He's still living in a rented apartment. I came in here, I bought my first house in the within the first 1 year of being in the US. And he was like, how did it happen? Of course, had it been I went to him, he would have advised me to get an apartment and live in an apartment for 16 years. Okay, I bought my first house within 1 year. We started the process 8 months after I arrived Chesapeake because of opportunities. You have to look for it, and I'm not regretting that I did it, because that house now has equity of, over, I don't want to say it on air, but it's just so much. Okay, so all I want you to do is look out for opportunities, not your people that you have in the US. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. The questions are still growing. I don't know why they keep growing. I wish my money in my account can be growing like the questions. Keep growing. Please, can you resend the link? The link has been sent. So, wow, good news. Yes, thank you, Maury. Wow, good news. Oh, I don't know what good news you guys are rejoicing about. Well done, DNA. Good job. Okay, this is good news. Okay. And then please, how do I join your group as self-sponsored, and what is the requirement? I don't know if any of my admin staff is here. If they are, they can send the link, but if they're not, I'm gonna send my phone number. You can chat me up on that line, and I'll point you to the right direction. All right, I'm going to send it to you as soon as I finish these questions. Okay, so Quincy is asking, can one with one experience, I don't know what that means, but can one with 1 year experience apply a BSc holder? I think that is the question, and the answer is yes. Once you have
Yes.
1 year experience, you can apply. All right. And then you have Anisette. Anisette is, please kindly send the recording. The network keeps going off and the number of participants have been exceeded. It's hard to sign in. I'm so sorry. I hate that this happened today because I really wanted to show Madison how big and large we are. I told you about it. So, but I'm sorry that it happened today. It won't happen again. I will keep an eye on that. Okay. All right. So, and then we have like Victoria. Victoria said, please, there a WhatsApp group? Yes, there's a WhatsApp group, and I'll be sending the link to the WhatsApp group in this comment section after this. Okay, Madison is asking if you are, or Madison is saying if you are with another agency and waiting to switch to Interstaff, please make sure you have the release letter to verify you have been released and are free to join. We always want to respect our competitors. Yes, that's what we said earlier on.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so we have a question from Antonia. Antonia said, good evening, please. What is the time between passing NCLEX and getting a job and moving to the United States? So we don't have prophets in the house that can predict this timing, but what we are saying is get in the line. Get in the line and the time will come, okay? You can only predict and foresee things when you have spiritual abilities. We are all we are still in the flesh. We don't have spiritual abilities as that. So if you get in the line, you would know the timing. You know that when it gets to you, you know, when you become current, you can always approach the embassy. Okay, I'm just trying to be funny. I'm not trying to, you know, put your question in a disrepute condition, but I just wanted to, you know, let you know that some of these things are, you know, some agencies come out and they are proud to say, in 6 months' time, you'll be in the US. They just want to lock you in with a contract. I'm telling you the truth. Once they start sounding like so sure and certain about immigration laws and immigration specifics in the US, know that they are looking out for a way to lock you in with a contract. Once you sign that paper or sign that contract, they are going to go AWOL. You can't see them again. Okay, so please be careful, be mindful. There's a lot of people out there that does not even have experience on how to get people out of out from their countries. So they're just there deceiving people and telling people they can do heaven and earth, but they cannot. In actual sense, they just want to increase the number of people that are on their pipeline. So please kindly make sure that you know what you're signing before you sign it. Okay, Former Wankwa is saying, is this a full sponsorship program or partial sponsorship program? So I would like one of our guests to answer the question.
It's a full sponsorship program. We do ask you to pay for a little bit just so that we know that you are committed. So we split the CES fee with you. And then from that part, we cover everything. And the reason for that is we don't want nurses, we want nurses who are actually committed and want to stay through the process. We don't want people who just want to use us to pass the NCLEX. We want people who actually want to get to the US and want to work with InterStaff. And so that's the reason we ask for that. So other than that, it is full sponsorship. There are some things that you would need to cover in your home country, like getting your transcripts and some of the license verification, just because you will have to be the one to request that. So other than that, we pay for your NCLEX, we pay for your IELTS, we pay for CES, visa screen, all of those things, InterStaff covers. We cover your flight to the US. Decency can send the recording and you can see the specifics. And then once you get to the contract stage with us, there's full information laid out for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. So it's going to be a full sponsorship, but you know, there's a little commitment that comes from your own self. So I've noticed this with my NCLEX you know, group. A lot of people, when they pay for the NCLEX program, they are more committed than when the agencies are sponsoring them. I have some agencies sending their nurses to me for me to train them. And a lot of those nurses don't even show up to classes because they didn't pay for it. But when a nurse pays for my class, they will always show up for that class. So I just want to say that this is a commitment just to show that you are committed, your money is there, you're involved in the process. And then from there, InterStaff is going to take over and sponsor everything. Isn't this beautiful? Is this not what you guys are looking for? I know a lot of people, this is what they are looking for. They are looking for an agency like this that would pay their fees and sponsor them all the way to facility. This is one, all right? And I want you to take advantage. All right? So now it says, next question is, please, what about people who do not have sponsors? Does InterStaff give full sponsorship? Yes, we just finished talking about that. The InterStaff would give you full sponsorship. That's from Xiaomi. Joyce is saying, good evening, boss. Is there any health ground that can disqualify a nurse from practicing in the US? Yes, I don't know of any right now. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that. You know, as far as things go, I know a lot of people who have been diagnosed of HIV or hepatitis, and you know, that's kind of question that I believe that Josh is asking. Is there any health problems that can disqualify someone from coming to the US?
I think there are one or two things on the health screening. Madison, do you remember what they are?
I know, just trying to find the link. It's gosh, I'll see if I can find it and send it. There are one or two health screens that could disqualify you, but they're not obvious ones.
No.
Like you just mentioned, DC. They're things that you wouldn't expect. And I'll see if I can find
maybe something like communicable diseases, something that can infect others. Yeah, I think that should be.
I want to say one of them was gonorrhea or syphilis, maybe.
Yeah.
That's one of them, and then there's something else. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay, while Madison is looking for that, just want to
Yeah.
save a little bit of time. Can someone from Nigeria with over 20 years of experience who just finished her master's in the UK and currently working towards getting UK PIN apply? And Jane said yes to that question. And we'll go ahead and see other questions. Jen said yes. We'll suggest you apply so we can review your application to know if you meet the requirement without, okay. And then Anisette said we would suggest, okay, Anisette just said, how do I apply? And then the link was sent to you. And then Ifeoma is asking if it's a full sponsorship, and then we've answered that question before. Laura is saying, please can one on self-sponsorship whose T-bond will expire by next month join, but due to financial reasons could not register for NCLEX and travel and rights from Nigeria? I think the answer to that question is still yes. And I think you should do it now. Do it now so that you can get, if you can progress within Interstar very quickly to sign with them, and they can get you an ATT to give you 3 months extension to kind of prepare and go and write the NCLEX. Because if not, you would have to go back to the pre-registration stage where you have to supply Texas Board of Nursing with your verification from NMCN. And, you know, we're just hoping that by next month we have a positive outcome from there. Okay, so that's what I would say, just get in and progress quickly so that you can benefit from the program that they are offering. Okay, Ukeme Akpan is saying, I'm a BSc holder, currently on a master's program in public health. Can I apply, please? Your WhatsApp group chat for follow-up from Nigeria. I will send that as soon as possible. Is the program targeted at specific level of employment to institutions? I don't know, Jen, Madison?
Yeah, we typically accept tertiary institutions, some hospitals that have 100 or more beds. So that's typically what we look at. We look at some of the nurse to patient ratio, those kinds of things. It's really a kind of a case-by-case basis. We have a list of hospitals that we accept, and we are always researching. We have clinical researchers who are looking at this. And so we suggest you apply so we can look at your specific case.
Okay.
But those are our typical requirements, 100 beds.
All right, thank you so much. And then the next nurse, Blessed, is asking, can a nurse with who presently is not in clinical area, an occupational health nurse, be can the person apply?
Someone can apply. Typically, if you're not working at the bedside, then you would not qualify for our program. But if you have previous clinical experience, you've worked at the bedside before, sometimes we will suggest that you go back to that experience if that's an option for you. And we can reassess your application once you have been back in that experience.
Okay, thank you so much. And then Chukwudi is saying, okay, somebody asked that can someone who is a repeat test taker take advantage of this program? And Jen said yes. And then we have Chukwudi saying, I have a question. Can I apply with Interstaff? I currently have CES support, and the answer is yes. Smiling Praise said, please, but what if the IOS expires while waiting? Unfortunately, Jen responded and said, unfortunately, you would have to take IELTS again in order to get a license in whichever state you are working in, and they will require active license
IELTS.
scores. Yeah, IELTS scores. Okay.
I need to fix that.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's okay. Ibukun said, I'm a registered nurse. Is it? Oh, yes, it is full sponsorship. Okay. Please, post your WhatsApp number. I will post it. In fact, let me do it now. So chat up this number is +1 346 370 7110. Okay, chat up this number on WhatsApp, and you'll be getting a response to all the questions you would have. All right. Thank you. That's the number, and let me continue with the questions. Let's see where we are. I'm so sorry I'm taking a lot of time today. I'm just trying to make sure we don't miss anybody's. We're almost gonna be done very soon. Oh Lord, we're still very far. Lizzie, okay. That, that. So next question says, congratulations, Boss D. What did I do? I would love to be like you when I grow up. You're grown, man. You're already grown. If someone has a license in both UK and Nigeria, which one should we use, or should the person use for CGFNS registration? And does she need verification with Nigeria NMCN? Thanks. I will answer this question, Jen, because I've dealt with it a lot. Okay, so if your license from UK was gotten as a result of your study in UK, you can use UK only license and study and do your CGFNS process. But if you got your license from Nigeria and you did your study in Nigeria, you migrated to the UK, and now in the UK, you want to do only UK license without a study, corresponding study in UK, you would need to get back to Nigeria to get both your study transcripts and your license from a verification from Nigeria. I don't know if that is okay, but if your qualification and your study comes from UK, you can use UK alone. But if you had your study in Nigeria before going to the UK, and you went to UK on maybe a nursing route, and you went there, took your CBT, took your IELTS and got your PIN, and then your OSCE and you got your PIN. If you did that, then you would need to still go back to Nigeria and get a license verification. Okay, I think Jen touched on it. Jen said it will have to be through your country of origin. Yes, that is correct.
Yes.
Okay. Ogonadi, can someone with 20 years experience who has not written NCLEX and IELTS apply and be sponsored from start to finish? And the answer is yes, you can. All right. So you get a lot of yeses. Today is a yes day. So my children tricked me one day, said, can we make today a yes day? And I said yes. And then everything they asked for that day, I'm not permitted to say no. I just have to say yes. It was a very terrible game because I have to buy a lot of things from Amazon. So today is a yes day for everyone on this call. So you get a lot of yeses and just very little no. Okay, so Imoro is asking, please, do you accept midwives who are willing to write NCLEX exams? Depends. It depends on your experience. If you did midwifery only, it might be difficult to do your CGFNS CES verification. But if you did midwifery and an RN program, then you will qualify. Your hours of experience would match that of an initial nurse or a newly registered new graduate in the US. So it depends. You need to be evaluated first before we find out what is good for you. All right. Then the next question is said, thank you, Jen, Madison, and Decency. It's a beautiful privilege. Thank you as well. Can West evaluation be used for CGFNS registration? Can West evaluation be used for CGFNS registration? Well, both of them are two different bodies. You know, West does evaluation, CGFNS does evaluation. So you cannot use West for CGFNS. CGFNS is not going to even ask you to provide anything from West. You're going to ask you very specific questions. Your school of training, your secondary school or high school, your nursing license verification. They are very straightforward. They're not going to ask you about West verification. I don't see any place where you have to submit something else from somewhere else to CGFNS and they will accept it. Okay, so the answer to that is no. All right, and Anisette is this only for nurses who are registered or obtained NCLEX? What about those who have just their nursing degree and experience and wish to start from start? This is for you as well. You can take part in it. Jen answered, he said we can assist nurses who have not taken NCLEX, and that is the answer to your question. And Techno Cave J5 is asking, please, I want to know, can you sponsor both NCLEX fees, transportation, to and fro, exam venue, CGFNS and visa? Please, I want to know the level and limits of your sponsorship. So I didn't see you answer that question. I don't know if you can just,
I don't
he
think I
was
saw
very
that question.
specific. Yeah, I asked the question under your comment. He said if you're going to be sponsoring transportation, visa, NCLEX accommodation, I just want you to, I know you've said it before, but just want.
Yes, we do.
So
And this is something new. We used to reimburse for NCLEX travel, just because it was easier logistically for someone to book their own flight, but we have hired someone so that we are now able to book your NCLEX travel up front. It's up to $750 for your flight, which typically covers it. We will help you with your visa sponsorship. We don't typically cover your accommodations while you are in country testing, but nurses are typically able to find something reasonable for that. So yes, we do sponsor your NCLEX costs and the travel.
awesome. Thank you so much. And then we have Lois. Lois is asking, please, can I request my transcript to be forwarded to your agencies from Texas Board of Nursing, or I have to request my school from Ghana to send it to your agency, or can I just send the transcript to you myself? Well,
So
go ahead.
go ahead, Decency.
Well, I would like you to take the question. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm not totally sure what stage you're asking about. For the initial application, you don't need to send us your transcript. We'll just look at your CV and your license. And so we don't need anything with the transcript in the application. If you are talking about once you have signed a contract with InterStaff and are moving through the process, we will have someone on our team that would walk you through every step. And I believe we would just have the agency send it to the Board of Nursing, but we would have somebody that would walk you through that step by step. Does that answer that question?
I think so. Thank you so much. Yeah, so yeah, you can apply. At least let's get to know what you need, and from there we can walk you through. All right.
Absolutely.
So Lydia is asking, can a practicing renal nurse apply?
Yeah, I've seen a few things about specialties. We would suggest you apply. Our specialties are always changing depending on hospital needs. And so I don't have the current list of specialties in front of me. So I would say just apply and we can let you know if your specialty is an issue.
Right. Thank you. And then Solomon, he said, so also asking the same question about perioperative nurse, that's OR nurses. The same thing, apply, and then applying is not like come and sign contract, it's different. So
No.
just apply, and then we can figure out the logistics and what is needed. All right. So Elizabeth Alobi is asking, what about somebody that has not started anything? How do I participate? You have to apply, and Jen has, been very benevolent with answering questions and has gone ahead to send you the link. So use the link that Jen sent to you to apply. So the next question is to please call the number again. So the number is +1 346 370 7110. That's the number. Okay, I will post it again to the chat box. Okay, which states in US are you located? And after sponsoring, will you deduct? Oh, I think we've done this before. Let's see. Maybe I'm going back again today. Oh Lord, is that new questions? Newton is okay. Thank you, Boss D and Interstaff for this meeting. Please, can RN with clinical experience and various health experience apply? Also, if not currently working, can an RN apply too? Yeah, so you can apply. The answer is yes, you can apply, and we'll figure it out. So please, can one get a coach for NCLEX exam for a new candidate? Yes, you can. Can get a personal coach from Decency NCLEX Academy. We assign somebody to you. The person will be your personal coach, coach you and give you assessments to do and tell you your scores and tell you how good you're doing with the NCLEX. And when you're ready to sit the NCLEX exam, the person will let you know. All right. I'm gonna be stopping this meeting any moment from now. I just want you to, if you have any question that is dear to your heart, that we have not been able to handle, you can use this maybe 2 minutes that we have left to ask your question by yourself by raising your hand. I'll give you the opportunity to speak. And Newton has raised his hand. I'll be telling Newton. Newton, this is going to be your second or third time speaking. If you have any question that has not been addressed and you want to really ask that question, please kindly raise your hand and I will let you speak. Newton, please go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Yes, Buzzy, thank you very much. My question is concerning my process. I called you severally and I chatted with you. I was with Westways. Can you hear me, boss?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I was with Westways. I signed an agreement with them. But when my sales report came out, due to the retrogression, they said they can't continue with me any longer. When my board of nursing, New Mexico Board of Nursing registration was about to expire, I contacted them so that they can make the payment, but they told me that they are not interested again because of the retrogression. I am stuck. I don't know how to continue again because I don't have the financial capability to go ahead. What do I do? I have contacted you for this severally, but
I think
I don't know.
I think I remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I remember that case, and I'm really sorry that it happened to you. So what I would say, Jen, would you say, if she sent you or sent you guys a copy of the email where they said they cannot continue, would that serve as a release letter if they said they cannot continue with her?
Potentially, I would need to see the actual letter. So I would send us an email at recruiting@interstaffinc.com or just submit an application. And that's part of our process, is always checking that, as long as you tell us you've been with a previous agency, and we can work through that with you.
Newton, I hope you heard that, right?
Yes, sir. I heard that.
Okay. Do you have any other question that we can answer today?
Yeah, there's a clause in that their write-up that except if I have my ATT, and I don't have money to pay before getting the ATT.
Oh, okay. More. So that's what I'm saying. You have to send Jen, send Jen the letter so that they will see it and see how they can assist. That's what I would say.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Hello. For some reason I'm losing connection. Hey, Madison, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can hear
Jen,
you.
please kindly, I don't know if you can, trying to see what's happening. My computer is okay. So can you address one or two questions that we left out from the comment section?
Yes, are there others? Let's see.
Mhm.
There's a question about how many years is interstaff sponsorship. I think that's asking about our contract. Our contract length is 3 years. It's actually 6,240 hours, which equates to around 3 years. License renewal. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll through. If you're not, can a nurse who is not currently on clinical practice but had done in the past apply? We require nurses to be working. So I would suggest either waiting until you are back at the bedside, or if you don't plan to do that, then you probably will not meet the requirements of our program.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe your question was answered, Newton, and then we have Constance. Constance, you can unmute and ask your question. Justina is going to be our best question for today, and I will let our guest go. It's been 2 hours of consistent talking. They need to go get a break. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. I know it's not easy to be in one place and keep on talking for 2 hours. Constance, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Yeah, please, I want to ask for someone who is registered, a registered UK nurse with NMC PIN. Do you still require an IELTS?
Still require an IELTS? Is
Yeah.
that the question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, we do still require an IELTS.
Right. So because you would
That's
need
not our requirement. That's the state board and the immigration
exactly,
requirements.
exactly, yeah. Because you will need it, for your visa screen, it's not on the agency. Whatever you give to agencies as requirement, they will turn around and send it to the appropriate bodies that are asking for some of them. So it's not on the agency. All right.
Right.
So it's something that you would need to submit for you to qualify for the visa type you're applying for. All right. I hope your question was answered, Constance.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, and then Olori Taiwo, you can unmute and ask your question.
Good evening, Boss D.
Good
Thank you very
evening.
much, our visitors. God bless you. My question is that can a nurse with like over 20 years of experience from Nigeria, uh, currently finished a master's in UK here, but is not working as a nurse, is working towards getting her PIN in UK here. Can she apply?
Yes, she can definitely apply. I would say if you're not currently working in a hospital setting, then you would most likely not qualify for our program. But if you have that prior experience and are able to get a job, we don't require you to meet that 1 year of experience at the time if you have prior experience. So as soon as you are working in a hospital, then yes, I would say apply at that point.
If you're working in the hospital as a nurse, right?
Yes, if you're working in a hospital as a nurse, then you would apply. I mean, you would.
Actually, I'm currently working towards getting my PIN in UK here. I've passed my CBT and my OSCE. It's just my English that remains for me to pass. So
she's working
that is
as a
what is
carer,
keeping
not
me.
a registered nurse.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that would not qualify for our program at this point.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Justina, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question, or you'll be my last.
Okay, but Decency, this question is for you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I started sales sponsorship with the academy.
Okay.
Yes. When I would say I wasn't guided well by the person that your academy gave to me. So when my board expired, I reapplied again to Texas Board of Nursing with another $75. Then as I was waiting to get my ATT, I was asked to do another verification, which is where I got stopped. But sometimes around March, I bought into one write-up, something my colleague sent to me that where Texas Board of Nursing said they can accept letter of good standing from your hospital where the person is working, which I have written to my hospital. They sent out letter of good standing to Texas Board of Nursing around first week of May or sometime end of April. But up till now, they said I should give them 30 working days. But up till now, I've not gotten any response. So since I'm doing such with your academy, is there anywhere you can come in? You can help me to see if Texas Board of Nursing can actually use the letter of good standing written to them, sent to them directly by my hospital. That's my question.
Okay. Yeah. So first of all, I would like to I would like to get in. I first of all want to see the request from Texas Board of Nursing, because I've seen Texas Board of Nursing ask for two things. They can ask you to send in your verification from Nigeria. That's verification of your nursing and midwifery license from Nigeria to them directly. And I've seen them ask for letter of good standing. That's if they are questioning your experience, they would ask you to provide a letter of good standing from the hospital where you worked in last from your country. I've seen them ask for these two things. So I want to know what they are asking for exactly and what you provided for them.
Okay, maybe I forward it to you in WhatsApp. They said
yeah.
as a temporary measure, pending when Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria will lift their ban for verification.
Okay. That's interesting. I would like to see it. Please send it to me. And then when you send it, I would address it. And next Friday, if we have if it works out that we can use hospital letter of good standing to bypass the verification for Texas Board of Nursing. A lot of people benefit from it. I'm going to be one of the first people to share it on this platform. All right. So let's go for it. Let's look into it. Send it to my WhatsApp and then we'll discuss about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justina. All right, with that question, we've come to the end of the program. It was really amazing, and we have amazing people. Today has been awesome. I also want to say thank you to Interstaff for releasing the two best of its kind, best of the staff we have in the house. And they came here, they gave us, passionately spoke about issues that were presented on this topic. And that is one thing I like about you guys. You're so transparent and passionate when you discuss issues, and that shows how the level of commitment you put to what you're doing. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on board and discussing these few things that we went through today. Of course, we've not exhausted all the questions. I have to jump so that we can, end at 3, and we haven't even, we have not even stopped the program. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Madison. I really appreciate you guys. I just need one last word from you guys. Just one last word to this, my lovely guests of honors. I call them my special guests, my 100 participants. So one last word for them that you can say. Being here, seeing a lot of things that's been happening, you've seen nurses come and go, you've seen nurses become successful through your program. Just tell them one thing that will stick and stuck in their head for a while. Maybe not forever, but for a lifetime. Jen, you
You
can
have
go
anything else,
first.
Madison?
Ladies first. You always say ladies first, right? Okay, Jen.
I think, to me, this last question from Justina is pretty exciting to me. I'm so thankful that you brought that up about the Texas Board of Nursing, because that would really open up so many things for us. So I'm really thankful you brought that up, and I'm anxious to look into that a little bit more. I'm just really grateful to be with all of you today and appreciate all of your questions and your thoughtfulness as you go through this process. I know it's a huge commitment and a huge decision you're making, and we don't take that lightly. This is something we look at. One of our values is nurse first, and we look at each individual nurse, and that is the most important thing. And we just really value each individual person and know that this is a huge thing for you as you undertake this journey. And so we want to walk alongside you in it. And so we really appreciate all of you being here and the opportunity to just share about what we are doing, because we are, as Decency said, so passionate, and really thankful to you, Decency, because as everyone on this call knows how wonderful he is, we are thankful to get to partner with him in a lot of ways. So just really, really grateful to you for allowing us to come on and share about our program.
Yeah.
So much, Jen. Thank you. Over to you, Madison.
Yeah. Well, gosh, that was so well said. Yeah, Decency, we appreciate your partnership and your friendship so much. It's been such a joy to get to know you and get to work together in this journey supporting nurses around the world. So thanks for having us on, and thanks for continuing to believe in us. I think, like Jen said, I just think we want to be so clear and transparent about what our program is and what it isn't, so that nurses can make good and wise decisions about joining and partnering and working with us. Because we are very committed, we are very connected, we're very passionate about our nurses and supporting their journey. And we want to make sure all of our nurses are very aware and understand kind of what their role in the partnership looks like. Because it's, the reality, and Decency knows this, is it's not perfect. It's not always easy. There will be challenges. But I think the thing Interstaff, as you would have seen in the presentation, is very committed to is standing with our nurses through the challenges. You will face challenges as you go through the immigration and come to the U.S. and start working in the U.S. But we are very committed to walking and being with our nurses in those challenges, so that whenever the successes come and the end of your journey with Interstaff comes, we celebrate that so much more together, because we've been able to build the resilience and overcoming things along the way. So we're yeah, like I said, we're nurse first. We are very focused. We love continuing to learn, to grow, to evolve as a company, and really excited about learning more about you all and potentially working together.
Thank you so much. And Jen, we pray and wish that you get well soon.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Decency.
much. Thank you, Madison. I really appreciate you all.
Yeah,
Guys, with this,
likewise.
we've come to the end of the program, and we would just want you to go to the comment section, spend your last minute to say thank you to our guests on the comment section, and then they might, stay around to read it or not, but I will surely tell them how grateful we are. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate you guys. Use the link and apply. And I'm going to make sure that this link is sent to all our platforms. If you are not in any of our platforms, that WhatsApp number, just go there and request to be in our platform, and then you'll be added to the platform where you can get information about all the things that is going to be coming to you on this program. We have next week we're going to have another department in Interstaff come on board to tell us about the F1 visa. So we expect that you guys will also keep a date with us next week, Friday, same time, same venue, same place, same face. No, not the same face though. Madison will not be here, but we'll have
Yeah.
maybe we'll get Jen, and if you
I'll join next week too.
yeah. All right. So that's it. So we're gonna see you next week, and then we have another program. I think an attorney is coming to tell us about the visa bulletin next week, Thursday. And then we have another attorney that does more of, litigations about nurses coming to tell us about the US nursing protocols and how to be safe in your practice as a registered nurse in the US. So all that information, all the flyers are out. If you have my number, you will see the flyer on my what is it called? On my DP, you will see it on my DP. But if you don't, just get into our platforms and you get all the communications, all the programs that we're going to be having will be communicated to you there. All right, with this, we say thank you and God bless you. See you next week, Friday. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.
See you all later. Thank you.